So this video is going to be a little bit of an easy DIY project for protecting your floor. What started this is I was cleaning the floor and I have these spots. I don't know what they are. They're not really raised on the surface, but I also had a little bit of staining too. I had these little spots and they didn't come off with regular mopping. Usually I just use a Swiffer wet mop, just go through it real easy, and it usually cleans real easy. Even the Swiffer mop was kind of catching areas of the floor and almost like the friction of the floor was pulling the mop off the Swiffer. Using hot water and Simple Green, I was still really struggling to get these things off, and it made me kind of remember having a house with linoleum, and eventually the linoleum just kind of got dull and it would get dirty really easy and kind of stay dirty. So I'm thinking with the floors, maybe there's a wear coat on there that wears off, and maybe it needs to be like redone every now and then. So that's what I decided to do. So after struggling with this for so long, I basically just used a wet rag and just let it sit there and let them soak in. Finally got all the spots off the floor. Got on Amazon, looked up some stuff, and I decided to go with a bottle of stuff called Rejuvenate. I've used this before when I had the linoleum house. I got the All Floors Restorer because I don't actually know what this floor is in the van. I suspect it's just vinyl. To spread this stuff, you just use like a microfiber cloth or a sponge. This stuff is super easy to use. I'm going to start out with just a little test area in the back, just to make sure that I don't ruin the floor by using it. So I got it on. The lighting's kind of changed, so there's like a little bit of a shadow. That brown wasn't there, although it was kind of alarming me that was brown. So this is like my little test area back here. It looks okay. It's not shiny, it's not slippery, so that's kind of nice. Putting this stuff on is super easy. You don't need to buff it in. You don't have to rub it real hard. All you literally do is just pour the bottle out. Just like pour a little bit on your floor. And then just use the microfiber or the sponge, whatever you want to do, just to push it around and just make the whole surface wet. And then you want to stay off of it for a couple, maybe it said like 45 minutes, let it dry. But I stayed off of it like for a couple hours. And I decided I would put 2 coats down too. It said you only had to do 1 coat, but you could repeat a coat if you wanted. End result was pretty good. It didn't make the floor slippery. It didn't make the floor shiny. So this floor here is done. It actually increases a little bit of the texture, so it's a little less slippery. It claims it reduces slipperiness by like 50% or something like that. But overall, this looks good, and I was pretty happy with this. But me being me, I decided that I was going to test it, and I was going to use food coloring. So I'm back here in the back where I started. I went with a spot that maybe would not be so visible. I don't know if you use food coloring, but food coloring is super staining. So gonna give this food coloring a shot, see how it goes. I was a little worried, I'm not gonna lie. So just put a drop down, and then I had a cloth. I have a dry side to the cloth, and then I have a wet side with a little bit of soap on it. So dry side first, just kind of suck up what's there. Felt kind of good about this right now because when I moved it, or when I wiped at it, I actually moved it without leaving a lot behind. Just a little bit left, so then I just used the soapy side of the cloth just to get that last little bit. So super happy with it. Came off really easy. I'm actually very pleased. It's going to be stuck on my finger for a little while, but that's okay. So that was it. That's just this is what I did this week. I'm getting ready. The eclipse is like a little over 3 weeks away. So I'm going to go over getting your van ready for a big trip, tightening stuff up, things like that. So like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.